This is the Super Conqueror. It is a tier 10 British collector heavy, and in my opinion it is the strongest heavy for any situation you might get stuck in. There's a lot of vehicles that are kitted out towards either hull down or towards flat ground engagements, and a good example of that is, the Type 71. This vehicle has a very solid hull, but it's got a weak hatch on the roof of the turret, and it doesn't feature that much gun depression. Now, to be fair, you can get gun depression on it, but if you do that, your vehicle's going to lose that much necessary mobility. The 5A has great gun depression and an incredibly robust turret. However, features very poor hull armor, so it's always going to be back and forth. Where the Super Conqueror, it features great hull armor. The upper plate is fantastic, and the tracks are amazing. And if you know how to angle it properly on flat ground, you're going to get more bounces than, honestly, a lot of heavily armored vehicles. When you pair that with the fact the vehicle also has 10 degrees of gun depression, a very solid gun that has 265 mils of standard pen, 400 damage per shot, and 2700 DPM with Cali, that's pretty dang impressive. It's accurate with .318 dispersion, and it's decently fast at a top speed of 36. The big advantage of this vehicle over something like the E5 is that it has much better reverse speed. The E5 reverses at 12, which makes it very, very unflexible depending on what situation you might get it stuck in, where this tank can obviously reverse much faster. Not only that, but the E5 has very poor track wheels. They're troll. Don't get me wrong, the E5 is a very troll tank to sometimes pen, but it's nothing compared to actually the robust armor that you're going to get on the Super Conqueror. So we are going to make our way towards the medium flank. We have a mouse and stock Conqueror going to the base C, and I am going to be making my way over to base A. I also find it funny that somebody thinks I'm flossy. There's no way Pierogi thinks I'm flossy, right? He's in my own clan. Alright, well, let's see. We got a T-22 and a 30B already spotted at base A. And this is where we're going to use that Super Conch mobility. You'll notice that while the Super Conch isn't the fastest, it doesn't go 45, 50, which, the 50B or 5A can do, this vehicle still does go 36, which is pretty good for the power to weight it features, and it does allow it to get into position fairly effectively. So here we are. Now we are in a hull down position, and this is where, ideally, we're going to be able to work this vehicle very, very well. We got the Chieftain hatch. Nice 327 slap into his vehicle. He shoots my teammate, but man, this Chieftain is not enjoying life. Look at that. 575 HE into the side of his tank, and that's because, as I mentioned, this vehicle does feature cheap high explosives. So we're going to load in an HE shell, and there goes the enemy Chieftain. It's just so hard to counter this tank when it gets into a hull down position like this because of the gun it does feature and its overall playstyle. So we have the T-22 off to the side, and there you go. Nice 500 roll into the side of the T-22. We already see both tank destroyers spotted on the enemy team, which means those really aren't much of a threat at all. So I'm just going to make my way right on down here. We're going to aim it on the 30B, Yeetus, and a Deletus. Nice 415 at Shotteroonie. So the solid DPM of this tank has obviously allowed us to get out some good shots and damage this game. And now we're going to make our way straight on towards base B. I just love how our Mouse and Conqueror literally committed suicide for no reason this battle. Oh well. And actually, somehow the rest of our team has been bled quite a bit out, which is not what I love to see. We get a nice shot into the enemy E100, which is always pretty good, and we're getting bleeds out for the rest of our team by keeping the enemy spotted. We have the Emil 2, and because we are running calibrated shells, we just have enough pen to cut through the Emil 2 turret. As you can see with the solid DPM we feature, we do have the ability to get another shell into that Emil 2, and we're giving our team huge assistance damage, which is always very important. So already we've done a pretty solid job here. T-22 is getting bled out. We got the Yag Tiger showing me his upper plate, so we're going to get a nice 380 damaging shell into the Yag Tiger. Alright, let's move up a bit, and ideally we can get some more damage out into the Yag Tiger. We have the 30B off to the side, and while these are... Oh, I'm telling you, the Yag Tiger upper plate, after they changed its armor, is super, super troll. The problem I'm running into right now is base cap. That's the real killer. We're going to aim it on the Hori. Unfortunate. That's actually really bad, especially with our E5 getting cleared there. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. I mean, the Yag Tiger pens me, which is pretty expected, but we get a nice shell back into the Yag Tiger. The TVP is making his way over here as well. So I'm going to make my way up, and we're going to see if I can get some clears into this Jagdtiger. Even if the E100 does shoot me... Oh, he HE's me for 1,200 damage. A no-camo E100 is smart enough to HE pen me. Okay. I mean, let's be honest, guys. This was never going to be a win. With the way the base cap was ticking up, I just don't think I could have made this be a win. Unfortunately, our E5, which we really depended on, died all the way in the back here when he should have been flanking either the 30B or helping with the Hori in the front line. We were able to lower the health of that Jagdtiger quite a bit. What I was hoping is that we could get to the side of that Jagdtiger, but unfortunately E100 was able to climb up that hill and HE pen us, which I didn't think he was going to be able to do, to be honest. I didn't think a no-camo E100 even knew what HE was. But he did, and he max rolled it. We did 4,230 damage, we assisted 1,400, and we obviously did top on the team. There wasn't much more we really could have done in that battle to take advantage of that situation. At the end of the day, when you have your mediums dealing worst on the team, there's not much you can do because you rely on your mediums in supremacy to allow that base cap to be alleviated. But the Super Conk did fantastic. Ideally, in a normal situation, I wouldn't have left that hull down spot, and I would have continued to farm the E100 from there. I would have shot the Hori and ideally killed him. I mean, that was not a bad situation we were in. We had to put ourselves in a bad spot because of the way the game was unfolding, which is rather unfortunate, but at the end of the day, there's really not much you can do about it. So here we are in our second battle, and let's see if the Super Conk does well again. Here we are, we got a TVP, and ideally it's not the same TVP from the last game. I don't think it is. Ophelia Fuddrucker. Fuddpucker. Interesting. Is that a Christmas camo? It is. I didn't even know Wargaming made that Christmas camo. I've never seen that in my life. Interesting. And our TVP does not seem to be the best of teammates either. Well, alright, you know, I will give the TVP credit. He is... Never mind. I thought the TVP was going to make his way to the C spotting position. He's not. Maybe he is. I don't know. I don't know what bro's doing, honestly. But usually people like to cross base C here after they cap it. The only problem is, as I said, our TVP is not actually spotting that, so we don't get any shells out. Very unfortunate, because as we can see, the majority of their team does appear like they are actually going to be... Oh, I'm spotted. Interesting. From what? What? Is it a light tank? They don't have a light. They have a 62A. Interesting. Alright, well, I'm going to move up. We do have the 263. We have the Leopard. We have the 62A. And they're bleeding out our 183. And not much I can really do about that, to be honest. This is looking pretty bad. Pretty dang bad. Alright, well, let's make our way on up here. And let's see if we can get a shell maybe into the 263. There you go. He does high roll me, but we also get a slight high roll out as well. And with the Leopard being on the side of that 263, it forces him off the hill, which is obviously a decent advantage for us. We have the Chieftain Mark 6 over here, and I'm hoping that the Chieftain actually does something instead of just, you know, nothing here. But we'll see. We also got the 62A, and wow, our Chieftain's literally doing nothing. Okay, well, let's see. 62's over there. We got the Leopard down low, and we got the E5 and everything. Okay, well... Ideally, at this time span, with the 4005 as well, I'm just going to push over here, and let's see if we can get behind this Leopard and get some damage out. Yeah, what are you going to do? Nice HE into the rear of the Leopard for 490, then we ram him for 690, and he's dead. Alright, pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. Our 4005, definitely not the best teammate, but at least we were able to take advantage of our capabilities, and, man... With the way that 4005 died, it just put us in the most awkward situation there. Alright, well, we're going to shoot at the E5 here. And our Chieftain just sucks, really. That's all he is doing right now. Killed himself for no reason. Which puts us in a really awkward situation here. Let's aim it on the E5. There you go. We do pen him. Pretty nice. We have the 263 rolling behind us. We also have the 62A. So what I'm going to do to start off with is I'm going to aim it on the 263. I'm going to get him cleared. Then we're going to wiggle towards the E5. We get another nice bounce from his tank. We're going to get a pen into the E5. 525. Good stuff with the ram. And he's shooting heat into my vehicle. And you can see why you do not shoot heat into the Super Conqueror. And that is because of the fact this vehicle is very, very heat resistant. The entire turret and hull of this tank is just basically a massive heat shield. Now that shell should have bounced, or penned, not bounced. That's just really, really cringe. And then the E5 pens that, which is also cringe, and our ammo rack gets damaged, which is even more cringe. But at least we do get the clear on that player. We're going to over-angle our tracks again, and there you go. E5 bounces us. I mean, we're basically single-handedly beating the entire enemy team, while our team does nothing to support me, so that's really fun. Let's aim it on the upper plate of the E5. We get another nice bounce. Man, this is not ideal, though. If he pens me once, we basically die, so I'm trying my best not to allow that to happen. Let's just get to the side of the E5. There you go. Nice 380. I mean, clearly this player doesn't know what he's doing. I'm not going to deny that right now. This player is, he's making some big mistakes. But that's fine for me, because Super Conk for the win, right? This is an incredible tank, and you can see that here. It's an absolutely incredible tank. The DPM allows you to get the job done, and the accuracy of the gun is solid, and as we saw on flat ground, we got a lot of bounces. Now, that's not to say the E5 is an easy tank to pen in a face hug. It's not. It is one of the hardest tanks to pen in a face hug in the game, and because this vehicle doesn't have the most premium pen, I can't cut through the turret cheeks reliably, so you have to start looking for other areas to pen his vehicle. Thankfully, we were able to take advantage of that and come out with a win. Actually not the worst player ever. Pretty surprised. He just did not know what to do against our Super Conqueror there. When you only have heat as a premium shell and you decide to face hug a Super Conk, it's going to be a very hard situation because there are certain spots you can pen. You've got the turret ring if you know where to aim, but obviously with me trying to gun block him, it's going to be very hard to actually shoot. So yeah, face hugging a Super Conqueror is a really bad decision in my opinion. Don't do it unless you know where to aim. But yeah, pretty solid result overall, 4,200 damage and a win. So I think personally the Super Conqueror is one of the strongest tier 10s in the game. I think that in any situation you played in, you can do very well, and it shows right here. I mean, it really is just such a fantastic tank. I've been doing okay in it. Nothing crazy for average damage, but pretty solid results overall. Let me know what you guys think about this vehicle in the comments down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.